what I had done was read this and then sing a little bit from the Volta's amputecture. Probably not very well. In the river Ganges, goddamn is my name. Okay. But that's all right. That's not a biggie. Anyway, this is what I did. Today I went and had my shoulder looked at by osteosurgeons at the hospital in Lismore. Okay. And they sent me to go and get a CT scan, but it was taking a very long. I had to wait for a very long time, right? So I wrote, I am afraid the CT scanner will decapitate me. I need to get a scan to see how bad my shoulder is. Don't let these hands. On a more realistic level than that, sharpen your eye. Of the CT scanner being a guillotine, I am not looking forward to my music creation and far more embarrassing masturbation. These hands. Device, could you believe, and bag / psychologically regressive toddler security blanket, thumb to suck, will be data mined for a more specific sharpen your eye. Will be data mined in a more specific way than it already probably can be while I am AFK. All of these fears are real fears, but you gotta go with that middle rationality bullshit of low-level right-wing YouTube commentators in this situation. Don't let these eyes sharpen your eyes. If you have a feeling, first, understand that if it is specifically in / with regards to you alone, no one cares. This is a fact. That's a little clunky. Anyway, a power fascist was shot in the head last week. Some guy called Charlie Kirk. But it might be just a faked death that a real cadaver must be made available for. So maybe I will decide to skip the scan. In fact, don't you pretend I have not done this. The thing about the random commentator who was probably actually assassinated last week is, first, completely unconnected to the potential injury I was about to be put through. The cadaver shit is bullshit. That guy was probably, if it were fake, just trying to cash out a high-profile demographics testing position. You've been carrying a pack of wolves, a pack of wolves. This would surely be difficult and heart-wrenching work for any good-souled individuals to do, having to kowtow to gun-toters, lobbing bullshit at Christians / religious generally pacifist majorities in the service of attempting to make sure their hot-headed youths a pack of wolves are aware that the job of mass violence is always an option, regardless of the opinions of their fuddy-duddy religious upbringings. That type of media fascism is a twisted ideopathology to do with doing a little bit of violence here to stop, hopefully, more violence in the future. I regret not killing you while I had the chance. I know I had the chance. I know I had. This is certainly mostly bullshit.
The lambs must be slaughtered because their meat is tasty.
But because they are human boy lambs,
they can do it to themselves and each other.
Now, the sort of human boy lamb that I am is one who has a screw in a bone in their shoulder that may in fact be ripped out of my chest during a CT scan. As unlikely as this probably is, and they assure me that it is, I've heard the contents of this anxiety enough not to want to keep on with the scan. This would certainly be painful, and might in fact kill me, but it would make much better use of all these haptics data that I'm constantly accumulating. If I did survive, I would potentially be a dank job for a Boston Dynamics contractor, a new robot arm. I would be Stax from Street Fighter, but not black, white Stax. Good thing I'm no fighter, street or otherwise. That one might be Mortal Kombat anyway. In the coffers. Okay. Although, sure, There is paper trails of evidence in the coffers of many a very decent harm reduction hacker about the very close, in fact, electron microscopic data we were going to collect from this event. It would have been a fatality scene in a new Mortal Kombat game, but it was already fucking worthless. It's just no one liked that guy. He was lazy trash. He was mutton too long time already, but there was a local frenemy who wanted some good
Raw footage to really have a good feel about. The
Mortal Kombat universe for actual, like vaults along the portal ways to Mars, the Doomiverse, is unnecessary. A simulation simulated to avoid. That is the point of Doom. I don't care how sadistic you need to be to come or think. You shouldn't do actual unfortunate one-off speciations in the process of maturing into a higher stage of galactic civilization. You can think about them and you should simulate them carefully and honestly, but don't actually do them. If what they assure me was never going to happen happened, I would certainly have died and not been given a robot arm. An under-practiced prosthetic specialist can be disappointed. They would have been anyway. All that terrifying monstrous weaponry will only spell a higher likelihood of total annihilation when encountering other galactic civilizations. As soon as the intel is good, I regret killing you while I had the chance, I know. And they're in range, your Dyson sphere is done for, bro. If you make a Dyson sphere, there will be certain regulations you would have to adhere to when building novel environments in each respective cylinder. You would need to strive for a high degree of special complexity, biodiversity, and so on. Sure, if you can't do that, you will have your cylinder molded and sold off to the next hopeful novel environmental geneticist. This type of work should not be done in service of solving many problems, simply to do good, interesting, aesthetically beautiful work. You might build certain high degrees of chance problematia into novel living systems internally, but there needs to be an outer, somewhat considerably sacred limit to this shit. For every new normal, there needs to be a glare on the glass so that the old normal, as often as it glimpses itself, reflects back upon itself. That's one for the Cubs. Alright. And then I'm going to look up. It's called Vicarious Atonement. Vicarious Atonement by the Mars Volta. I'm gonna just try and sing it off the cuff. All right. Yeah, well, no accompaniment. Oh, there we go. Oh yeah. Don't you pretend that I'm not alive. My bones never ache unless she's nearby. Where's your face? In a safe of dead tongues, I can see your reflection in your totem firstborn. I suspect you've been carrying a pack of wolves, a pack of wolves. I regret not killing you while I had the chance. I know I had the chance. I know I had. Maybe I will always haunt you. Mark the somnolence with truth. Better hang your dead palace than living in a home to lose. In the river Ganges, goddamn's my name. Don't let these hands sharpen your eyes. Don't let these hands sharpen your eyes. A rasp of tails. Alright, that'll leave it at that. Right? That'll work.